Looking for some tips and tricks to help you progress through Valheim? I got you covered. Hey guys, JRX26 here, back at you with another video. Today's video will be looking at my personal favorite top 20 Valheim tips and tricks. So we're going to begin with some beginner tips and we're going to progress to more advanced tips as we go. I currently stream on Twitch 4 nights a week with my better looking other half, Divinity. Feel free to come check us out and you can talk about Valheim or any other favorite games. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button because it definitely helps out my channel. Also, leave a comment below. What are your favorite tips and tricks that you've discovered in Valheim? Alright guys, let's get right into it. Okay, tip number 1. When you're moving around the map, especially if you're running from a big baddie, hit the R button and it'll sheath your weapon and shield. It helps you move a little bit quicker. You think that everyone should know this, but I see a lot of people not doing it. Okay, tip number 2. Use your map markers. Your map markers are very important for helping you find your way around Valheim. As far as finding places that you've been, where to go to next, other dungeons to clear out, locations that you want to find, etc. So when you open up the map, you can see on my map that we've cleared out is full of map markers. And so how you use these is you could use any of these markers here on the side. You click one that you want. Say you have a new base, little makeshift base in a new area you're at, and you want to make sure you know where you're finding it, because if you wander off, you might not know how to get back to it. So you click one of these, let's say we'll use this one. Double click the map, and it puts it there. Opens up a little window now where you can type out what you want. New base. New base 2. There it is on your map. Now let's say it's a dungeon. I found a dungeon here in the Black Forest. And we want to go in and clear this out at some point and get the cores and different things that drop in the dungeons. New dungeon, or whatever you want to put. So another thing you could do with your map markers is if you cleared out this dungeon, like I see here, you can then click it again and it puts an X on it. Oh, it's all clear. Don't need to go to this one. So use these map markers. They really help you in your journey through Valheim. Tip number 3. So this one is similar to the tip number 2. It's all about maps. So if your map is open and you click the middle mouse wheel, you could ping the map anywhere you want. And it will show you a ping in the real world that you could see and your crew could see too. So this is good for, say you want to go to, see right here I got labeled egg. I want to go back to this egg that I found in the mountain biome. I click it and I could orient myself to that ping and head right there. Likewise, your whole crew who's on the same server as you could see your ping too. So for example, you could say, hey guys, let's meet up at this egg spot that I marked. Let's go head there. And they'll see it and they'll know where to head. Pinging the map comes really in handy when you're trying to navigate in the open seas in your boat. Especially when it's dark and stormy and foggy and you can't see anything. Open up your map, ping where you're trying to go. I'm trying to head to this Gob Camperino. You can see the ping off in the distance, orient yourself, and then head there. Tip number 4. So this tip comes in handy when you're trying to walk long distances. Hit the Q button and it'll have you auto walk. Just be careful you're not near a fire when you hit Q and look away.
Crap. This game doesn't let me freaking tab over well.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, apparently it says it'll either arrive on the
Where's my alert
third,
box?
either the 3rd, 4th, or 5th.
Hold on.
Oh, that's awesome. Yay!
I'm standing in the fire. Crap. No! Oh no, I'm gonna die! No! I can't move because I got too much shit on me and I'm standing in the fire!
Get out of the fire!
Oh, go! I can't! I can't! No! Oh my god!
One for the record, but
oh my god, dude!
That's an epic.
Oh my god!
Okay. Yep, I think that's like that one. That one takes the cake.
Tip number 5. So hit the Control and F3 key to disable the in-game overlay. This is good for taking really nice screenshots. Or then you can just hit the Windows key and F12. Tip number 6. So early in the game, keep your eye out for bees. They become very important for harvesting the honey to make mead for various mead-based potions that you need to progress later on in the game. So when you're wandering around, look for these old abandoned homes. Some of them you'll come up to and you'll hear bees buzzing. And I hear some here. Look inside and you should see a beehive. So you could shoot it with arrows. To destroy it. And there should be honey as well as a queen bee. Oh, the queen bee's hiding up here. Here she is. Queen bee added to the inventory. You'll be able to use the queen bee to construct a beehive to farm all the honey you need. So once you have the queen bee, you can open up the crafting menu, click on beehive. You just need 10 wood, 1 queen bee, and then you can place your beehive. And these little guys will start making you honey. Okay, tip number 7. Pay attention to the color of the damage numbers. Gray means that the creature is resistant to the type of damage that you're using on your weapons. Yellow means that it's weak to that damage, and white means that it's normal damage. If you look at this gray numbers, that means he is resistant to this blunt damage. We'll switch to the sword, and you got white numbers. White numbers is not resistant. Gray numbers, he's resistant to that damage. We got white numbers all over the place. And see the yellow numbers? The skeletons are weak to blunt damage. Look at that. Tip number 8. If you fall off into the water and you're low stamina, just stand still. Don't swim and you won't lose any more stamina. If stamina goes down to 0, you will start losing health until you die. So just stand there, just sit there treading water and wait for one of your crew members to come pick you up. Okay, tip number 9 is a cool one. If you're wandering around the meadows and you come across a ring of standing stones, this is actually a Norse burial ground. They would typically bury the leader of the clan with his ship and put these standing stones rings around it. And in the northernmost corner of the burial grounds is typically where they put the leader in his chest full of Viking treasure. So if you come across one of these, walk around the ring, orient yourself to the northern tip, then try digging somewhere around the northern tip. You might just find some treasure. Oh, look at this. There it is. Inside we got silver necklace, 3 rubies, 12 fire arrows. Pretty good little haul, especially for a beginner if you're still wandering around the meadows. Oh, hi. Tip number 10. Always build your portals inside and protected. Otherwise, monsters will target it and destroy it. And you might get stuck out way away from home. Okay, tip number 11. So Valheim is an amazing game. Survival-based game, but it's got like a good progression to it. You have direction of where to go. And so that's what tip number 11 is use the bosses in the game in Valheim to kind of guide you, to guide your progression through the game of what area to go to next, what biome to go after next, which weapons are you going to need and armor you're going to need to tackle the next boss. Use it to kind of guide your progression through the game. And It makes the game much more enjoyable and gives you really direction of where you're going. Okay, tip number 12. Tip number 12 is all about speed and efficiency. So to pick up crops easier, hold down the E button and just run over them. Just like that. Okay, tip number 13. How to parry properly. So with non-tower shields, if you right-click to block right before a monster attacks, you'll parry. Just like that. Right block, parried, attack. Okay, bonus tip. Every weapon has a special attack, and you perform it by clicking the middle mouse button. So let's check it out. Parry, middle mouse button, special attack. Easy as that, guys. Okay, tip number 14. Use terrain to make walls and barriers to protect your stuff. Mobs can't get through it. They could eventually break down walls, and it uses a lot less resources and time, actually. It's quick, it's fairly easy. It's basically impenetrable. You can raise terrain, or you could dig trenches and moats around your castle bases, your portals, etc. And it'll protect you much better than the walls will, and it's much easier to do. Tip number 15, use the dodge roll. To perform this, you hit Control to sneak and spacebar, and you'll roll. So this actually has some invincibility frames in it, and so even if they land an attack in the middle of your dodge roll, you won't take any damage. It's a good skill to learn and master, and it saved me in quite a few sticky situations. Tip number 16, unlimited boss powers. So the boss powers are really good. They last for only 5 minutes though, and it's a 20-minute cooldown. So how can we make it so we have it the full duration? If you're playing with a crew and you each are standing next to each other when you use one of the boss powers, the whole group will get the buff. So if everyone decided to take, for example, the Eikthyr buff, if you're standing close together, one player hits off the buff and the whole group gets it for 5 minutes. At the end of the 5 minutes, his will be down on a 20-minute cooldown. There will be 15 minutes left on the cooldown. The next person will use their buff, and etc, etc. Everyone gets a buff continuously for the whole duration if you have 4 people, at least. Okay, tip number 17. So this is another small one, but I see a lot of people not doing this one either. When you go into a dungeon, drop a campfire right at the entrance. You can sit right next to it and get the rested buff. Then as you're exploring the dungeon, you get wet, you're cold, or you need to eat some food and rest, come right back to the entrance, sit down, and get the rested buff again. All right, almost getting there. Tip number 18. If you have a big base in the plains and you have any locks near your base, throw them some cloudberries. They make great tame pets to help protect your base. Put them down and he'll eventually come up and munch on them. So tip number 19 is related to tip number 18, but it works with any kind of pet. So any any tamed animal that you have, quick little trick is to level up your sneak by sneaking around your tamed pet. Okay guys, we did it. We're down to the last one. Tip number 20. So this one works for really well for like bosses or mobs with lots of hit points. So you could stack the dots from the different arrow types by switching the arrows out as you're firing your bow. So this works really well if you hotkey them. So if you see up in the top left corner, I have my arrows hotkeyed to 4 and 5. So you put your bow on, click the arrows you want to use, and you can just switch back and forth between the different arrow types. And that's it. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment below. Do you have any other tips and tricks that you'd like to add? I might add them to a future video. Come check me out. If you haven't, I stream 4 nights a week currently on Twitch with my better looking other half, Divinity. We play Valheim, we play Star Wars: The Old Republic, we play a variety of games. And I really hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and like and hit the bell, and you'll get a notification when I post new videos. And thank you guys so much for the support to the channel and on Twitch. And I'll see you guys in the next video.